Hey, what's going on, tribe? Welcome to my channel. So, just in the park, getting recharged by Raw. I'm not going to film them, but it's just interesting because I'm catching these rays just out in nature, and like there's a bunch of school kids. I don't know. There must be reception, reception. Um, it's interesting how society is built up here, because when you go more into the cities, like the center of the cities and stuff, um, you have the school system. It's very different to when you see, should we say, posher schools, because it was very rare that we went to a park to actually just go and play, yeah, like a big field to just run off our energy. And I'm just watching these kids, and I was like, you know what, yeah, I would have loved to do that at school, because if you notice, or what I noticed, even when I was a kid in school, when you're in the class, they want you to sit down and shut up, and they want to put you in this box, right? Um, but as soon as it comes to break time, kids want to run out, and they want to be in grass, and they want to play and burn off the extra energy they got. Um, I remember when I was a kid, as soon as it was break time, we just run out and we just want to play on the grass. And intuitively, it's grounding, right? So kids are intuitively trying to go out and grind. I saw something on Insta earlier about how we're meant to learn off our children. And what was he saying? He basically said how the younger kids, being younger, I always wanted to hang out with the older kids because I can get more wisdom and knowledge, right? So I was always with the bigger kids and stuff. And he was basically saying, yeah, when you're younger, you should get guidance from more elders. And when you're elder, you should get more guidance from the youth to kind of stay with the times or whatever. And I was like, you know what, that is so true, because you see some of the elders and they're so stuck in their ways and they don't want to change, right? It's like my nan and my dad, should I say. So this is why me and my dad clash so much, because he's just stuck in his ways and stuff. And it's like, you're not moving with the times, you know, like the world is changing, everything is changing, and some people are just stuck in their ways. This is due to past programming and stuff. One sec. Out in the park eating grapes and grinding and getting recharged by the sun. Yeah, a lot of people are stuck in their ways, and times are changing. And it's like, you really, like, if you're not changing with the times, like, you really are getting left behind. And where I was going with that, about the school system, and they want you to kind of sit down and shut up. And when you're in, should we say, a social school, it's very different to a private school. Like, the things that they're teaching them in private school is to kind of be self-sufficient, and it's a better education. I'm not gonna lie, it's a better education. It's like, even when I was walking, like I think it was last year, I see they must have been from a private school, but they was going out on a bike ride and teaching kids how to ride bikes and stuff. And I was like, listen, we didn't do any of that in school. We were just told to sit down, shut up, and just get on with it. And they put you in this box, right? And one thing I've noticed as well is the school system is basically about memory, yeah? So if what you learn in school, you're just basically repeating back to them, right? So you're not actually learning, it's just more about your memory, right? And the stuff that they're teaching in school is so dated. When I'm speaking to my son, he was learning about World War II and Hitler and stuff. And I was like, and the Holocaust and stuff. And I was like, you know, a lot more people died in slavery, right? But they don't go into that. They only tell you this outdated history that is irrelevant to us, because we're no longer in that time. But obviously, you get certain cultures and stuff that will be affected by things that's happened in in the history or whatever, like slavery, is still damaging a lot of black people today. Um, which is really interesting. And another thing is, I don't know where this is going. I'm just chatting. What comes to mind, and I'll just share it with you guys. How the Egyptians and other tribes and stuff worship the sun, yeah, because the sun is actually the giver of life. You know, like if there was no sun, everything would die and decay. Yeah, and it's like due to everything that's going on. The nature has just been acting really weird. I know Gaia is going through a big transition as well, but with all the stuff that is going on in the Matrix, I'm not going to go into detail, but like with the blocking out of the sun and stuff, it's having an effect. Like a few months ago, everything just looked like trees were just looking like they was dying, and grass just everything just looked like it was decaying, yeah. And then boom, as soon as the sun comes out, everything is just come back to life and it's more vibrant. Like the more you tune in and get in tune with yourself and in tune with Gaia, you start to feel the shifts and things that's happening. Like for instance, last night, I couldn't sleep, tossing, turning, and then when I went on YouTube, when I woke up or whatever, it was like, yeah, there was a big spike in the human resonance, and I was like, got ya. This is why I couldn't sleep, because I think all the work that we're doing is having an effect externally, if that makes sense. It sounds so weird. So all the work that we're doing now is getting projected outwards, and it's going to come back to us, if that makes sense. So whether it's the flash that people are talking about, or just shifts in general, because we're starting to see big shifts, but all the work we're doing, yeah, internally is going to get projected back to us, yeah. So maybe that's the ascension, where everything just shifts, like just dramatically changes, whether it's the pole shifts, or the flash, or just things changing dramatically. Yeah, the more in tune you get, the more interesting the journey is going, should I say. And we're actually meant to be, the more, that's what it's, there are two worlds kind of coexisting at the moment. You have the artificial world, the AI, the 3D realm, where everything is trying to take you away from yourself, trying to get you stuck on technology, TikTok, and materialism and consumerism, right? And then you have the real world, coming out into nature, getting in tune with yourself, grounding, and more of a holistic approach, should I say. So there's two worlds coexisting, and you're starting to see the split between realms, or worlds, should we say. I've done a video about this. What was it? I think it was 20. Was it? Might have been last year or the year before. It might have been the year before. About the split between the dimensions or something, and it's starting to get more noticeable, man. With everything that's going on, spider webs and stuff. It's so funny. Yeah, even the split between dimensions is getting more noticeable. Like, I'm seeing so many more people just getting more in touch with nature. Like grounding and being out in nature is just like a must these days for me personally, anyway. And even just connecting with the wildlife and the birds. The wildlife and birds. The wildlife, should I say, because birds are wildlife. Like, yeah, I'll be out feeding the squirrels and feeding the birds and stuff, and it's like I'm starting to communicate with them. Like when you start raising your vibration, like animals are more drawn to you and stuff. It's really weird, because before I was always drawn to animals, but now it's like I can communicate with them. Like when I go into the park, they just kind of, like squirrels just start coming up to me, and I've done little videos and clips about it and stuff, which is so interesting, because I'm resonating more with nature and stuff now than the artificial realm. Like being on Instagram, TikTok, even using the phone, like I only use it for mainly music and YouTube, really. Even TV, like I'm not really interested in it. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see how things are going and how things are playing out. because when you step outside of, it's like I'm observing what's going on within the 3D realm, should I say. So it's like when I come up here to like the heath and the woods and stuff, it's like I'm at peace. I'm at one. Like I'm grounded. And yeah, there's just I'm just present, should I say, as possible. And then, and sorry, let me say this as well. Everything in nature doesn't compete with each other. So you've got the 3D realm. Everyone's trying to compete, consumerism, and trying to get one over on each other. Excel or go up the ladder to somewhere that, yeah, whatever. And then you come into nature and nothing is in a rush, or nothing is trying to compete with each other. The trees have their own space and they're doing their own thing, like even different varieties of trees. They're not fighting with each other, they're just growing. Like the flowers and the plants, they all bloom at different times, and that's like how we are individually. We all bloom and grow differently. So it's not good to compare yourself with others, man. But yeah, when you're in nature, it's like therapy. It is really like therapy. Like there's no stress, no drama. And then as soon as I go back to the 3D world, as soon as I get on the bus, start going back, it's like you can feel the energy starts to get heavier and denser. And then you go into the supermarkets, and it's like all chaotic. Everyone like just chaotic. I don't know. The energy is just crazy. So yeah, just trying to sit back and observe it instead of get attached to it. But it's just frustrating because I'm in the world but not of the world. So kind of observing how things are going, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating at times because um, it's like a small majority of people are controlling the majority of people, and it's like, how the hell did we let this happen to a certain degree? Yeah, so we've kind of let this happen, and now we've become more conscious of it, and now we want kind of things to change and stuff. But some people don't want it to change because some people lack security. But the age that we're going into, the age of Aquarius and stuff, you're being called to stand in your power and be your own individual person and not be governed. You should govern yourself. Like this is where what's going on in the 3D realm is you got like just fear, and when you're in a fearful state, you're more likely to look outside of yourself for what's the word, for kind of guidance, and you want governing because when you're in a fearful state, you're more vulnerable. Yeah, so this is why they're trying to promote so much fear and stuff, and it's like, yeah. Yeah, because everything that's going on in the 3D realm, it's always been like this, is just fear, and trying to keep you in a low vibration and harvest your energy. And it's like, dude, them times they're ending very rapidly. So everything that you're seeing in the 3D realm is like, it's desperation. It's desperation. Because you have the small minority of people that fear to lose their control and their greed and their power, when it's like, dude, we're moving way past that. We're moving way past that. You know, like I said before in my previous video, it's like you have the worker, like we just say the janitor, because I was always brought up to give the janitor the same respect as, or the cleaner, the same respect as the boss, you know, because we are all one. That doesn't matter what status you got, you're still a human being at the end of the day. But yes, the workers at the bottom that do the most work who get paid the less, and then you've got people at the top that do no work and get paid the most. And it's like, dude, the balance is so off. It's so off, but it's coming back into balance. And it's like the way the system has been constructed, should we say, is that you've got like another small minority of people that hold the most wealth in the world. And then you've got people that are starving, and it's like, dude, how there is so much to go around, yeah? It's like the big corporations, after they can't make profit off the food, they'll just bin it. And it's like a sell by date. It doesn't mean that actual food goes off by this date. It is a sell by date. Yeah, the food has to be sold by that date. Yeah, and it's like, dude, like, when I'm volunteering at the food bank, it's like, obviously the big corporations or whatever, Tesco's and Sainsbury's, they say they donate a certain amount of food, like they're doing a good job or whatever. But they, when I'm at the food bank, there's not actually there is a lot there, but not a lot, if that makes sense. And it's like, do you know how many many big corporations there are? So where's all the food going? They're just binning the majority of the food because they can't sell it and make a profit off it. And it's like, dude, is this really the world that we live in? Like, some people, like in some countries, even if we was to ship the food over, like, or whatever, like people can be eating and not starving. We're living in a world where people are still starving. We've got homelessness and stuff, and you've got people that have like a 10-bedroom house, and it's like, dude, like the imbalance is just so off, man. But it's starting to come back into balance, but it's just frustrating. So everything that's happening in the 3D realm is pushing people to kind of become more conscious and open your eyes and realize that you're being taken for a mongoose, man. They're taking you for a ride, you know. And it's like, you know, so trying to disconnect from it as much as possible is the way forward, man. Because we're always going to get challenged and stuff. That's why we come here to grow and expand and raise our vibration and expand our consciousness. But yeah, when you're like the way showers, should we say, the people that's woke up first, like we got the heavy load, should we say, because we're kind of leading the way, and it's a time of kind of walking blind and having faith, which is challenging because that keeps coming up when I do my cards and stuff, and I keep getting downloads like everything's going to be alright, everything's playing out how it's meant to play out, and this is why we incarnated here to assist with this great shift that's never taken place before in the universe, like the times that we're going into. Like, it's happened before so many times, but like with Atlantis and Lemuria, that's why the archaeologists are that they don't want to explore, or they won't let out information that there's cities under the water and stuff. And it's like the last pole shift, or the last cycle that the world went through, that's where the water is now and the sand is now. So like the Sahara and the deserts, that was once water, and then where water is now, that was once desert, is what I believe. And they're saying that the Sphinx that protects the not protects the Sphinx in Giza with the Great Pyramids, it has got water erosion, yeah? So they're saying it was built at the same time, but it wasn't built at the same time, it was built before. And I was watching something and they said it was built in the time of Leo, like as a lion or whatever. And I was like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. So I don't know how many centuries ago that was, because I think I swear when I was watching something, it was saying how each cycle or each age that we're in, like the age of Aries or whatever, I think it lasts for 26,000 years or something like that, and it ties in with the what's it called, I forgot what it's bloody called now, the cycles, the sorry, 1 second, I forgot it. It's like I think well, I was listening to it and it was like it was like Indian astrology, what was it? Oh, I can't remember. Kali Yuga, that's it. The Kali Yuga, the cycle goes up and down. So now we're going up and we're peaking at again, and then it's going to fall down to no, or we're going up, or I can't remember, because the consciousness rises and falls to a certain degree. So we're going up in consciousness once again, because the Earth just goes through cycles, and they're talking about global warming and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, the global warming isn't actually a thing. The world is just going through a cycle, so it's naturally heating up. Yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, that was just a little video about. I don't even know what it's about, man. I'm just yeah, things are just coming to me, downloading, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. What comes to my consciousness anyway, while I'm out grinding and getting recharged by the sun and eating grapes in nature. So. Hope everyone's out trying to make the most of this weather. Yeah, and just enjoy it. And try to find your center wherever you're at on your journey, because things will arise, and it's just not about getting attached to them. And just to be patient, kind, and compassionate to yourself and others wherever you're at on your journey, because everyone is going through shit, and everyone has been through shit, or everyone has been through shit, and everyone is going through shit. And feeling is healing. So whatever you're feeling, allow it to come up, because it will pass, because it's coming up to be healed and released, should we say, man. But yeah, it's an ongoing journey. The healing journey never stops. It's constant. So when one thing goes on, like when one thing comes up, you heal that, then another thing comes up, then you heal that, and it's just an ongoing thing, you know. But this is why we come here, yeah, to help assist, because yeah, I definitely ain't from Earth. Earth is just, it's a lovely planet, but yeah, the way it's being controlled and the people that govern it, yeah, they're doing a terrible job, man. They're doing a terrible job. Yeah. But anyway, peace, love, and that, tribe, and I'm gonna hit you guys up real soon.